Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back to the quietness. That is Date Warp, the true ending. We're finally here. I've unlocked everything I need to know now to get this last ending for the game. I can't believe the game's almost done. But I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. So, you do Bradley's route. I basically picked everything I did the first time I played the game. And I was skipping along, and it was not long after the explosion that the fast forward stopped. So I thought I'll start right after the explosion, and then that'll be a good lead into whatever this ending is going to be. So yeah. Boom. What was that? I don't know what I was dreaming, but I heard a noise somehow that woke me up. I just can't quite remember what that noise was. There's no one here but me. I wait for a moment, but I don't hear anyone at the door either. Something feels wrong. It's too quiet. Quiet couldn't wake me up. It's like there was an explosion? I need to find someone who can help. And the person I trust most in this place is just down the hall. Psst! Bradley! Wake up! I tap on his door, trying not to wake the rest of the house. A blurry-looking figure opens the door.
Janet was...
I was going to say something, but the thought is briefly knocked out of my head by the sight of Bradley's tanned, muscular, and entirely naked body.
What is it?
He notices me staring and looks down.
Oop!
He steps back into his room and closes the door.
Let me get dressed first.
I hear some rustling and thumps as he moves about.
The lights won't turn on.
I heard an explosion or something. It woke me up. That's why I came looking for you.
Give me a minute, I've got my shirt.
Oh, if the power's out, that means the overload happened and the force field should be down. He steps out of the room again, pulling his jacket on.
Let's go take a look.
We tiptoe down the stairs, eager to see, but still trying to keep quiet. Beyond the front door, a shimmering, twisted field of light remains. I don't understand. How can that still be there if there's no power?
Maybe it's weakened. Or maybe they weren't telling us the truth.
Before I can stop him, he reaches out to touch the force field. His hand goes right through it. What?
It's working. We can leave. Come on, Janet. Let's go see this new world of theirs.
He takes my hand and... it's suddenly flung backwards.
What?
I let go of his hand and poke the force field. It's just as solid as ever. Too late. It came back.
That can't be right.
He aims a punch at the force field, and his fist passes through with no resistance.
But... you...
Repeated tests confirm it. Bradley can reach through the force field, but I can't, and neither can he if he's touching me.
I don't understand.
Every time we think this house makes sense, it turns out that it doesn't. Could Linz and Nathaniel and the others have been lying to us all along? Does this force field affect anyone other than me? Maybe you should go out and look for help.
We can't go out.
I can't. You can.
What about you?
I'd wait here for you. Bradley looks at the force field.
If I went out there, I might not be able to get back in.
If it doesn't affect you...
I only got here in the first place because I was holding on to you.
That's right. He believed at first that whatever made people disappear only took girls, one at a time, and that he had to keep hold of me in order to find out where they went. But that was before we knew that this was a different universe and a different time. If the car went through a wormhole, it shouldn't have mattered if Bradley was holding my hand afterwards or not, because we'd already be on the other side. Something here doesn't add up.
There's something very wrong in this house. From the beginning, they've been nice to you, but not me. They don't want me here.
Well, you did pull a gun on them.
And now they have that too. They could be planning to do anything to you. This field thing blocks you, but not me. You're trapped here, but not me. If I went outside without you, I might never see you again. And I won't leave you behind.
Bradley. It's sweet of him to worry about me, but... should I insist? Okay, so something in that piece was different, because I had stopped before I got to this choice. And, I believe it's no. I think that's what I picked. Hold on. Yes. I mean, no. If we pick yes, then we get to the bad ending. We don't want to do that. Maybe there's a way to turn the force field off so we can both leave.
Losing power was supposed to do that.
Yes, but Linz has been up to something from the beginning, and they've been trying to hide it from us. Maybe the key to all this is in the basement.
It's worth a try.
Cautious of every shadow, we make our way to the basement stairs. Down and around and down, until... an alarm starts ringing in our ears. Wait, so the power's out, but the alarm goes. I never noticed that the first time.
Where did that come from?
Should we go back?
It's too late now. We may as well find out the truth.
But at the bottom of the stairs, we find only a firmly locked door.
Damn it!
He rattles at the door a bit.
Can you pick locks?
I can try, but I've never actually managed to do it. I don't have much to work with, though. I don't even have a hairpin. Do you have any safety pins?
No. Maybe we should just break it down.
I think that's enough of that. Cut! So, your true colors are revealed. Bradley opens his mouth to speak, but I flick the side of his leg with a fingernail to distract him. What true colors? We heard an explosion and came down to see if everything was okay. An explosion? The power's out upstairs, haven't you noticed? Oh! Wait a second, he actually looks worried. What's going on here? Rapid footsteps echo down the stairs. You! There's no time. Get these two out of here. I have to see to the lab and hope it's not too late. Fly, you fool. Tuesday morning, fairly early, and the power is back on. Bradley and I are sitting in the main lobby under the watchful eyes of Albin and Nathaniel. Linz and Raphael are in the basement, still dealing with whatever went wrong last night. Nobody looks happy about it. At least they haven't locked me or Bradley up again. They've even promised to explain, once Linz and Raphael get back. So we wait. The grand lobby, so impressive when I first saw it days ago. Now in this room, I can't help thinking about the force field that forms the bars of my prison. My prison. Whether it's a prison for anyone else, I can't say. We haven't told them about Bradley's discovery. If they don't know he can get out, he might be able to surprise them and escape later. If they do know that the fields don't affect him, they were only designed to affect me, then at least playing dumb means they might underestimate him. I don't want to believe that these people we've met are evil. Linz is strange, and Albin is a jerk, but Raphael and Nathaniel have been kind to me. If it's all a lie... Aha! They're here. Now maybe we'll get some answers. As most of you know, there was some difficulty with the power systems last night. The secondary generators compensated and there was no data loss. However, it's clear that the power demands are slightly higher than anticipated. It is important that we minimize consumption in order to prevent an overload. Therefore, we must disable the air conditioning and water heater. Wait a second. I thought we were trying to cause an overload in order to shut down the force field. We will be. Eventually. Eventually? Please, don't get upset. Is there any reason I shouldn't be upset? Yes. We just couldn't tell you.
I was right all along. You have been hiding something from us. Not for the reasons you think. We've kept our secrets to save an innocent life.
Huh?
Come with us to the basement, and you will understand. And if you touch anything,
they will suffer quite inventive consequences. I'm sure they understand that. Give Bradley and Janet some credit. It is important that we all remain calm. Everyone looks at Bradley, even me.
There's nothing I can do now anyway. So, if you want to tell us what's going on, be my guest. Then follow me.
Together we descend the stairs into the basement. I'm less frightened than I was the last time I was here, but still, I don't know what to expect. What have they been hiding from us all this time? And why now are they willing to show us? It is us that they're showing. Bradley and me. Whatever is down here, everybody else already knew about it. Down and around and around and down. What is this? Inside the cavernous, unfinished space in Nathaniel's basement, someone has built a medical laboratory. There are computers and equipment, some that I recognize, some that I don't. And one patient surrounded by tubes and wires, unmoving. We all hang back at the edge of the room, staring.
Who is she? My sister.
She's in a coma?
Not exactly.
Is she alive?
At the moment, she is neither alive nor dead, but in a state where she might potentially become either. A situation which will be altered when the procedure is complete.
And that's the experiment that's been counting down. This thing you're doing, it finishes tomorrow?
That is correct.
She looks like a sleeping princess in a fairy tale. The prisoner of a witch's curse trapped between life and death. What happens then?
Her spirit comes back, or is lost forever.
Which is why it is imperative that the procedure is not interrupted.
If the odds are only 50-50 at best...
You've seen what you needed to see. Now get out of here. I don't want you hovering over her. Can she hear us?
Bradley stares at her motionless form, his hand instinctively outstretched.
No, she is not there now. I just wanted to wish her well. Bianca will not remember, but we will. Let us go.
Quietly, we file out of the experimental chamber, up the stairs, and back to the mansion proper. Nathaniel leads us to the sitting room and gestures for everyone to make themselves comfortable on the chairs and sofas. He remains standing, his fingertips lingering over the curves of the candlesticks atop the fireplace. The sunlight through the window should be a pleasant relief from the unnatural environment of the laboratory below. But even here, if you look closely enough, you can see the patterns of the force field crawling across the glass. Why the force fields, then? Is that part of your experiment?
I am not entirely certain how they came about. There does seem to be some sort of feedback problem leaking into the electrical system. It was not intentional.
But we can't shut down and debug it at the moment. No, of course not. You could have told us from the beginning. What possible reason would there have been to trust you? Why would we have wanted to hurt your sister?
Albin scoffs.
I don't know about your universe, but here this sort of experiment happens to be illegal. Not to mention potentially lucrative if information came to the right hands.
You thought we were spies.
Your arrival did seem rather coincidentally timed.
I shake my head. I don't know how things work here. I don't know what you're doing or how dangerous it is. But as long as you haven't made false promises and everyone knows the risks...
We do.
I spread my hands and shrug awkwardly. I hope it works out for you. If force fields can spring up like magic in this world, then maybe some electrical process can bring someone back from a vegetative state. I just don't know.
Now that you know, you understand why it's important to control our power usage, and why we may all be rather distracted for the next 30 hours or so.
Yes, of course. And with that, the gathering dissolves. I catch Bradley's arm as he's about to follow Lynn's out of the room. Wait. Once everyone else is out of earshot, I continue. Should we tell them what we found out? About the force fields not affecting you?
I don't think it matters now.
What? Why not?
I don't really understand all of this medical magic stuff, but I understand Albin. That's his sister in there. Bianca. She looks like Albin, don't you think? Except so much more helpless.
And a lot prettier. Ah, yes, I forgot about this bit.
We don't know why I could reach my hand through the force field. Maybe it's because the power was down, so it was weaker.
That still doesn't explain why it reacts differently to you than to me, or why it changes if you're touching me. Doesn't that seem strange to you? He was the one who first suggested that the wormhole might only let in girls. But the wormhole and the force field are completely different things, aren't they?
If we told them, they might want to do tests and poke at it and stuff. But we don't know how it works. If it's all connected, then messing with it might hurt Bianca somehow. I can't risk that. I can't touch anything that might break.
So, that's it? We just sit and wait?
What else is there? Come on, let's get some breakfast.
Actually, I'm thinking about going back to bed.
You not feeling good?
I haven't had enough sleep, and I've been stuck out there worrying about what was going to happen for the past hour. I'm tired.
I haven't been sleeping well either. I've had these dreams. Well, I hope you feel better.
Wake me in a few hours?
Sure. I'm gonna get some food and talk to Linz. I want to know more about this thing, and if there's anything I can do to help Bianca. Later!
And he leaves me behind, alone. Just a few hours ago, he was telling me that he never would. I don't know what I was expecting. I'm not an invalid. I don't need him to escort me to my room. I'll nap for a few hours, then get up, have some food, and figure out what to do with my day. Where am I? Why can't I see? Why can't I move? Somebody please help! Just a dream. It's probably about lunchtime by now. I slept longer than I meant to. I don't feel very well rested, though. I keep having dreams, and none of them are pleasant. I think I was dreaming about Bianca. How it must feel to be her, lying there trapped inside your own body, not able to wake up. Our medical understanding of consciousness is incomplete. You can be asleep or even comatose, and still be aware of what's around you to some extent. We don't know how much. Raphael and Linz insisted that she couldn't hear us, but they're 25 years behind the times. They may not know. But then their science isn't quite like our science, and they said that Bianca was not there, that she was neither alive nor dead, and that they had to call her spirit back into her body. That sounds more like magic than medicine. Less reliable, too. If you really were summoning a spirit into a body, how could you be sure you got the right one? Well, we've seen how that's worked out a couple of endings. There are a lot of scary stories about trying to bring back dead loved ones and getting something horrible in their place. That's even more of a nightmare than what I was dreaming. But why didn't Bradley come and wake me up? I must have been up here for hours. I guess he's found something more interesting to worry about. Like your gift?
She looks like Alvin, don't you think? Except so much more helpless.
The moment he saw Bianca, I became less important to him. She's the sleeping princess, and he's the noble knight come to rescue her. No, that's stupid. I can't be jealous of a dying girl in a coma. Certainly not over him. I don't even like him. He's just some stupid boy. I don't. I'm not...
I won't leave you behind.
No chance, no way, I won't say it, no, no. I'm not in love with him. Ugh, I have to go join the others.
E.
No E. A. One A. I. Yes, two eyes. And two eyes.
After dinner, we all tried to think of entertaining ways to pass the time and keep our minds off things. Albin suggested poker, but that requires stakes to bet with. Raphael doesn't approve of gambling anyway. Charades was obviously useless because we don't share a common popular culture. I've never heard of any of their books or movies. At the moment, we're playing their universe's version of Hangman without the hanging. The word so far is... There's an I near the end with two letters after it. That could be an ing. How about N? We add the N and then the G, which leaves us with that. That didn't really help.
S.
R.
Linz nods and updates to that.
T. N.
I'm pretty sure there aren't any more vowels. It's gotta be something that goes with S. L? M? P?
Cold as ice.
Perhaps H. The H is added. Oh! Ravishing.
Indeed.
Pervert.
It's only a word. I don't understand why such an innocent game is all about death in your world. Well, it's a kid's game, right? And kids like to joke about death a lot.
And sing terrible songs about murdering their teachers and burning down their schools.
They're awful. Children say such things.
Never underestimate the viciousness of a small child.
Never let them out of your sight. Not all children are vicious. But yes, they do tell horrible jokes at school. And play nasty pranks. Like what? Tax on seats. Debagging.
Kick me signs.
Tying people's feet together.
Poison.
Poison?
Generally without success, but they do try.
Nathaniel shakes his head.
Even girls do these things.
If they don't like you, or sometimes even if they do, if they think it's funny.
Young people don't understand the damage that they can do. They're used to broken things getting fixed. They don't see the harm.
Or they just don't care. Plenty of kids don't care about anything but themselves. Most of them grow out of it as they grow up.
Once you've lost something, once you have something to regret and know the pain, you think harder about the pain you cause to others.
Or you learn to live without regret. Another game, anyone?
We're getting closer. I'm sinking, not in water, but in a substance as dark and sticky as molasses. It clings to my limbs with every movement, wearing me down. I'm not afraid. Because it's so dense, I can't sink quickly. It should be easy to stay afloat, at least for a while. I'll be alright as long as I stay calm. But I can't see anything. No light to guide me, no sign of help coming. How long can I hold on? And then from nowhere, a force pushes my head down under the surface. I'm in bed. I must have slipped down somehow. I'm all tangled up in the sheets and there's no pillow under my head. No wonder I was struggling in my dream. Blearily, I pulled the sheet off my face. What on earth? The force field, which was covering the windows and doors, blocking any escape from the house, has started to crawl inward. That's what shut me down the bed. If the fields are collapsing, something must have gone terribly wrong. I need to get help. Everybody, wake up!
Overly dramatic, Janet.
But the force fields...
We know. Come downstairs. We've been waiting for you to wake up.
That jerk. I hurry downstairs. Here, too, the force field has shrunk inwards a few inches away from the door.
Janet, thank goodness you're all right. Where's Bradley?
Bradley hops down the stairs behind me, still fastening his pants, his face a show of confusion and dismay. Obviously, Linz was playing some kind of prank on me back there. Never mind. What's happening? Nathaniel shakes his head.
There is no immediate cause for concern. The power coils are crystallizing on schedule. Everything is on target for the reintegration this evening. This is simply an unexpected side effect.
Unexpected side effect? You said the force fields were a result of power buildup interacting with the security system wiring around the doors and windows. I point at the freestanding shimmer, which is clearly not surrounded by a door frame. Does that look like wiring to you?
It could still be projected. Somehow.
Clearly I was mistaken about the nature of the interference. It must be some sort of ethereal pressure differential relating to the growing potential energy.
Cut the technobabble and get to the point. Why aren't you more worried about this?
Simple logic. Those field effects have been discernible for days without noticeable change. Based on their demonstrated rate of expansion, they will not encroach on the laboratory before the process concludes. Therefore, they do not represent a substantial change in the risk projections for the procedure. Really, one has to expect a few unusual reactions when tampering with the forces of nature.
You were expecting something like this?
Fires, floods, explosions, hallucinations. These things happen.
I don't like the sound of this. No one asked you to come here. We all chose to take the risk, for Bianca's sake. If I could send the two of you to safety, I would.
But there is no way to escape without killing Bianca. At least, not for me. Why is Bradley the only person not affected by the force fields, except when he touches me? Can the force field be somehow connected to the wormhole that's been making girls, only girls, disappear from our world? But how can that be? Bradley's sister disappeared 5 years ago, and the others were years before that, some before I was even born. The force fields are part of this experiment with Bianca that's happening right now. And Lynn says this has never been done before, so he couldn't have been carrying out the same experiment 5 years ago unless he's lying. Even then, 5 years before that and before that, surely he would have been too young.
As I said, the risk parameters have not substantially changed. You can all go about your daily business. I will keep an eye on the lab.
God will watch over us.
But with the burning, twisting light of the force fields pressing in around us, how are we supposed to relax for the day? As the others part ways, I try to catch Bradley's eye. Can we talk?
Maybe later? There's something I need to take care of first.
Something down in the lab?
How did you know?
I can put 2 and 2 together.
Well, I was waiting to tell you.
It's Bianca, isn't it?
Huh?
She's beautiful and quiet because she's dead, and perfect, and she needs you to defend her. That's what you've been looking for all along. She's the girl of your dreams.
Janet, the girl of my dreams is you.
Huh?
Since we've been here, I've been having these dreams. First they were about Susan. I'd see her falling, and I couldn't reach her, and she'd be gone. Then I started having the same dreams about you. Always falling in the dark, and I couldn't pull you back and you'd fade away. And I realized I couldn't stand it if anything happened to you. You're cute, and you're fun to hang out with, and you know lots of things I don't. I like having you around. I know it's my fault that you're here, and you're in danger because of Bianca, and I'm sorry. But if you weren't here, I can't imagine this without you. I can't imagine anything without you.
But you said you had to get back to the lab.
That's because I didn't want to give it to you until it was finished.
It? He raises his hand and a length of shining silver dangles from it. At the bottom is a flat circle. No, a coin. An unfamiliar coin with a crowned woman's profile on it.
It's not much. It's just one of their dimes and some scraps of wire Lynn said I could use. But I didn't have anything to give you, and I thought if we do get back, you might like to have something from Atlanta. To remember.
That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for me. All yesterday, when you didn't come wake me up, it was because you were working on this?
Actually, I kind of forgot you asked.
Same old Bradley.
Anyway, it's not done yet, so...
Wait, I should say something too. I never thought I'd see anything in a guy like you. But that's mostly because I never thought a guy like you would see anything in me. I spent a lot of my life being an outsider. I was really unpopular. Too bossy, too much of a show-off in class, and not pretty enough.
But you are...
Shh. The other kids were mean to me, but they were just kids. They grew up and got over it. I was the one who didn't. I thought everyone was beneath me. When I agreed to go out with you, I wasn't taking you seriously. Which is fine, because it really wasn't a real date, but I didn't know that then. I judged you too quickly. I thought you weren't worth my time. I was wrong. You're wonderful.
Aww.
I know you said that some of the girls you went out with got pushy. And I don't want to be pushy, but I've never been kissed. Oh, we got the Eskimo smoochies again.
I hope that was okay.
Yes, everything is great.
Come on, let's get away from that thing and relax.
As he gestures, I instinctively peek over my shoulder at the turbulent lights of the force field, shrinking near imperceptibly inward like a wall of advancing doom. Not a pleasant thought. There's something nagging at the back of my mind. Something I should have said earlier but was distracted. Alright, here we go, everybody. It's time. I gotta solve a puzzle. Who knew? The final puzzle. It's the final puzzle. About Susan. I can't wait to hear what this is. And then I stop in my tracks. Susan disappeared 5 years ago. Someone else disappeared 10 years ago. And 15. And 20. And 25. That was the first one Bradley could find records of. 25 years ago. 1984 in our world. The same time that it is here and now. Oh, interesting. Alright. Good on you, girl. Don't you think it's strange that your sister disappeared, and that was a big mystery, and you finally follow her only to land in a completely unrelated mystery?
You think they know something they're not telling us?
No, I'm not sure they know what's really going on. Come on, let's go to the library for a bit. I don't think anyone will be in there.
Okay.
He walks to the library beside me with a puzzled frown controlling his face.
Tell me what you're thinking.
We've both had weird dreams since we've been here. I've dreamed about being trapped and pulled in and falling, and you dreamed about me falling too. Just like Susan, the same thing happens to me that happened to her.
Well, you both went through a wormhole.
And we're not the only ones that disappeared. There have been other girls. It's been happening for at least 25 years. So we fall through space and time, and we end up here, where it's 25 years in the past. Is that a coincidence too?
I don't understand.
There may not have been any earlier disappearances. Maybe this really started 25 years ago, exactly the same time that it is here. You believed at first that whatever made your sister vanish would only happen to girls, so you had to hold on to me or get left behind, right?
Yeah.
And in this house, there's a mad science experiment going on and a force field that works just like you imagined it would. It traps only me, except when you touch me. The force field and the wormhole may be the same thing. A force that pulls people across space and time into this house and then keeps them here. And that force field only exists because of Linz's experiment right now. What if the first girl who disappeared came here, to this exact place and time, just like us? What if they all did?
But there aren't any other girls here except Bianca.
No, but if people are traveling through time, maybe every time someone falls through the hole, it creates an alternate timeline.
I'm sorry, I don't get it.
I'm not sure I do either.
This Bianca thing doesn't have anything to do with traveling to other worlds, so why would it make people come here?
It's all about drawing her spirit, right? But it's drawing specific girls every 5 years.
And even if it did, why would it happen more than once?
Well, if it makes alternate timelines every time, then what's happening now is probably the same thing that happened those other times too. Something's going wrong and the force field is collapsing. It's going out of control. Maybe it blows up at the end, and then everything resets and it starts over again. But that still doesn't explain why there's a hole in space/time that people are falling through in the first place. I reach behind my head and adjust my ponytail, trying to think. What does reviving Bianca have to do with wormholes?
At the moment, she is neither alive nor dead, but in a state where she might potentially become either. A situation which will be altered when the procedure is complete.
What happens then?
Her spirit comes back, or is lost forever.
Hey, alright, okay, I was following correctly. Her spirit. Bianca's dead. They're trying to call her spirit back into her body.
Huh?
I thought they were just trying to shock her out of a coma, but that's not the way they described what they were doing. If they're trying to pull a soul into her body, they're pulling us into Bianca. Me and the other girls who disappear. Linz's experiment tries to restore her life by taking it from someone else, only that doesn't work, so it all goes wrong? Maybe?
You're saying Susan is in there somewhere.
Kind of, but not exact. But I can see the fires of purpose rekindling in his eyes. Just let me finish explaining.
We have to stop the experiment.
Maybe, but we don't know. Wait!
Out of the way. What are you doing?
Sorry. He's so fast. My legs aren't as long. I'm scrambling to keep up. I burst into the lab on his heels, faced with Linz and Raphael at their controls.
Shut it down.
That won't necessarily help.
What's going on?
I think we may be caught in a time loop that resets at the end of the experiment. Bradley growls and surges forward, only to be caught by Linz's hands.
If you want to retain the use of your limbs, explain yourself.
Susan's in there.
No, she's not. If she was in a previous loop and it reset, she's gone, Bradley. Lost in time.
What?
The resistance weakening, Lynn shoves Bradley away.
I'm only going to say this one more time. Explain.
It was 25 years before our time when people started disappearing, and your time here is 25 years before our time. Our time has moved forwards. Yours hasn't. I think the space inside this force field is caught in a time loop, and when your experiment fails, it starts over again. You're pulling people like me through time and space to fuel your attempt to revive Bianca. My life for hers. Okay, so all the endings that we got with the guys were just alternate timelines that started happening after that. But if we failed to do that, then the force field just reset everything that's in the house again. Interesting. Okay, alright, I'm following.
That's not how it works.
It's gone wrong, but you can't see that because you're stuck inside. Bradley is the only external point of reference, because he knew about the disappearances before he got here, because of his sister.
There has to be a way to break the loop. If Bianca is the key...
Again, he lunges forward to try and reach Bianca's helpless body, and Linz and I grab for him from opposite sides. What happened? Whoa! Whoa! What? What does that mean? You can't just, like, shatter Bianca and have Albin staring at me angrily from the blackness of the void. Albin stands in the doorway, Bradley's gun in his hand. For a moment, I can't even breathe. Did he shoot Bradley? Albin, did you shoot Bradley? Oh my god. What have you done?
He threatened my sister.
He was trying to save his sister. Oh my god! Bradley! This is not how I was expecting things to turn out. What does this mean going forward? Wait. Okay, calm thine self, madam, and just read so you can find out instead of freaking out over here. Raphael kneels beside Bradley, frightened but unharmed. Nathaniel skids down the stairs and into the room, but far too late. He wasn't even supposed to be here. The trap wasn't set for him. He could pass through the force field. He could have run away.
What trap?
The force that's pulling spirits towards Bianca. The reason I'm here and I can't leave. But it doesn't work. You can't take one life to save another because someone still dies. And so the cycle goes around and around with no way out. And soon enough, someone else will be here to start it over again. There's no happy ending. There's no ending at all. It just goes on forever. There has to be some way out of this. There has to be a better answer. But it's too late. There's no way to save anyone now.